You've heard of fish fingers and definitely chicken fingers, but have you heard of beef rib fingers? I got an email. Hi Sam and boys, love your videos. I've been watching them for years now. It's amazing how the videos have improved over the years. Kudos to Max and Chance. I think what he's saying is they used to suck.
I think he's saying you suck.
Whether he's saying
You
I
sucked.
sucked or the video sucked, he's right. He didn't say it, but the video, if you go back to the beginning, our stuff sucked, nobody watched. I'm getting off the point. You suck. Have you ever done a recipe using beef rib finger meat? I'm seeing it more and more in the grocery store. Just curious if you knew of a good way to prepare it. Thanks so much. Keep the great videos coming. Best regards, Brian. Spelled properly, by the way. I've never heard of that before.
Wait,
Well,
what's properly for Brian?
I'm not gonna
Let me guess. Okay, I think
I'm not gonna say.
Brian is proper.
I'm not going to say. I don't want to offend. I'm like the Swiss. I'm neutral. I'm not saying which Brian spelling is proper. Just leave it up to your imaginations. But what do you think?
I think an I is proper.
What do you think, Chancellor?
I agree.
Okay, fine. An I is proper. I feel like the BRYANs are Brits or something, or Kiwis, or I have no idea.
Brian.
How would you? Listen, until you wrote, Brian, never heard of rib finger meat. What is it called? Rib finger meat, ever. It's the meat in between the back ribs on the cow, the primal, the big whole primal. You've got the bones, and then there's the meat in between. You know what that's like. When you take a big fancy roast and you French it, they're taking that meat out and just making the bones look all clean and everything. Where'd Max go? He's way back there. Max is back there, Chance is back there. We have 3 shots right now. We can have 1, 2, and 3, and that's a lot of me. Arguably too much of me. So let's stop now, and there he is. Lost my train of thought. So this is where the meat comes from. This is this. Sometimes it's cut out and thrown away. We're not doing that. Well, we bought it. We actually bought some. You can buy it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you how to cook this. Sometimes they
We
grind.
didn't slaughter it ourselves?
Sometimes they grind it up. I can imagine how good it would be. There's lots of fat. In fact, I bought Wagyu ones and they were 20 bucks a pound, which in the Wagyu world is very inexpensive. Anyways, to answer Brian's question, do we know how to cook it?
Brian.
He could be Brian like that. We're gonna show 2 ways. One will be smoked, and the other one we're gonna do right back here. Right back here. We're gonna grill it. Probably a couple hours on the smoker, half hour back here. It's all gonna be great. Let me show you how to prep them. We make a little rub. We get everything going. That's what we're dealing with. You can imagine these pieces of meat in between the bones, right? Bones like that. There's the meat. There's the meat. Look at how great this is. And you can see these Wagyu ones, so there's more marbling in these than maybe you would get in non-Wagyu ones. That would be the whole idea. But you have to do a little work to them first, and I've cleaned these guys up. I've left 2 so you can see. So the membrane is left on most of these. And the membrane, we often pull off. Pork ribs, for sure you pull them off. Back ribs, you probably pull them off too, because then when you cut them and you go to eat, this doesn't melt. It's not gonna break down however you're cooking it, so you don't want it. And we definitely don't want it here, because when we're all done, you can just grab one of these and start chewing away on it, and if this is left, oh, that's gonna be a drag. So here's what you do. You take a Sam the Cooking Guy 6-inch boning knife, and then we just wanna take this off. You can see it's not that thick. So if you get the knife underneath, like this, like this, like this, and go boom like that, there you go. So look, reasonably sharp knife, pulling it up as you go. You can see I screwed up here. Tried to do that for Max's camera, but that's okay. So then you just come back down on here, just get a little end. Get all of this off. Once you get this harder membrane piece off, this kind of stuff is gonna melt okay, and the stuff over here is great. One more little, look how tiny this is. Like a little baby rib. Right underneath, like that, and then...
We're going to Finger Town, bitch.
Oh God, Finger Town, don't. Your goal is keep as much meat as you can, so just take your time. I suppose you could ask your butcher to do that, but they would go from 20 bucks a pound to 40 bucks a pound in a second, so don't bother. Just do it. Get a good knife, make sure it's sharp. If it's not my knife, we're okay with that, aren't we, Max?
No.
Oh, we're not okay with that.
Get boned up for Finger Town.
Beautiful. All right, let's make a little rub. Here's our rub ingredients, and away we go. Salt, coarse black pepper, brown sugar, garlic powder, smoked paprika. Simple. And we mix. This is a beautiful little all-purpose rub. Any kind of beef would benefit from this. Chicken. Put this in your eggs, honestly. Sometimes I think we get way too anal about, oh, that says pork, you can't use it on anything else. Use it on everything else. All right, let's get the ribs back, and then we'll get them going. All right, here's our finger rib meat. Now, often we use a binder, and a binder helps the seasoning stick. Sometimes adds a little flavor, sometimes doesn't. Mustard's very popular, doesn't really add any flavor, but it's for sticking. You could use hot sauce, you could use oil, or today you could use a little HP sauce. This is the British steak sauce, and we're not using a lot. We're not trying to introduce too much flavor, but I was looking in my fridge for something and I thought, why wouldn't this work? I've never used this as a binder before. And HP is a classic British brown sauce for almost everything. You put it on eggs, you put it in little meat pies.
Bacon butties.
Bacon butty. It's a bacon toast sandwich.
How many years ago was our London video now?
Oh God, a long
I think
time.
we should go do a follow-up.
Fall of London.
A new top 10.
I love London. Okay, now that you've got this on here, now we're gonna season. So watch. I want to be fairly even with my seasoning, so I might have to take a few off. Great, now our seasoning. They're not thick, so I don't want to season like it's a, you know, a whole prime rib.
Whole hog?
Just gentle, gentle. Okay, let's flip them over, do this other side.
Apparently you're too scared to make a whole hog.
I don't have a backyard to cut a hole into. There is a piece of equipment that I want to buy that we could do a whole hog in.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, you got these guys all seasoned up?
Prove to the people you're not scared.
Oh.
You're scared.
I meant to put them on here, so let's do that. It'll just make life easier. Look at that little guy. It's like a pencil, little kid.
You know what they say about small fingers.
Small beef fingers, large horns or something. Okay, and straighten this guy out. Once more, one more over here. All right, now we're good. Let's go to the smoker. Lit up, looking beautiful. See you in an hour, fellas. Okay, it's been an hour. You ready for beautifulness? Because, oh, look at this. That's insane. All right, they're gorgeous. Let's take them off. Ready for step 2. Step 2 is we make a little sauce that begins with bourbon. It's gonna be good. You can tell already. We add some hot honey because hot honey is just the most advanced version of honey. Oh boy, mine is all like stuck in here. Hold on, crystallized. There you go. That'll work. A little Worcestershire, a little soy sauce, some of my favorite garlic paste, and last but not least, some brown sugar. And this we'll mix. All right, it's rib time. Sheet of foil. And now these beautiful fingers. So I temp them. We'll save this guy to try him. They're about 160 degrees. We want to take them on up to about 200. That's going to happen in this foil. That sauce, we're going to use some in here, but also to baste the ones that we'll do on the grill right after this. So just a couple spoonfuls of this. Just give everybody a little bit of that. And now, a couple knobs of butter that we'll add to everything, and we wrap. We make a beautiful, tight little package. If you trust me to put this on the smoker without looking, I will, and then we'll come back, throw a couple pieces I saved on the grill. Okay, so I saved back 2 pieces from the smoker to do on here. Now, typically, you wouldn't do this, but I think we might be able to. The key here for me will be turning it a lot, and this is not too hot. I've got it make medium low. I think this is probably gonna take me 25 minutes to half an hour to get it where I want. And where I want's gonna be, you know, around 200 degrees. We will use that little sauce I made to baste once we start getting some color on this. I think they're gonna be delicious. But wait, remember this guy that we saved back? I don't think he's done, but I just thought I'd give all of us a taste. Cuts quite nice. Maxwell, Chancellor, delicious flavor.
Wow.
It's got a little cooking to do. But oh my God, so rib centric. The times we've done beef back ribs, that's what it's all about. Okay, boy, this is gonna be fun. And here we go. Nice, all right, getting some color. Beautiful, clearly this side is hotter. So we'll trade that a bit and just do a little preliminary basting while we're here. Just to screw with Max's camera lens. So the key is, as I said, we're gonna be turning a lot. If I think they're starting to get too hot, I'm gonna move them to a side where there is no heat. Just let them sit for a minute. If you rush it, the fat's not gonna melt. The fat won't break down. They're not gonna be tender and delicious. So we wanna take our time. But again, it's not the traditional way. I think it's a good option. And for Brian, we promised 2 different ways. So here's one of them. Well, with somebody shredding trees next door, let's look how gorgeous these guys are. Oh, I'm loving them. Charring up nicely. Give them a little more of this bourbon, honey, soy, garlic marinade. Nice. Keep going, fellas. We'll be back. Well, these are about as pretty as anything could be, and they're there. They're both just about 200 degrees. So off they come. We'll take them to the other side. The smoker fingers are almost there, and we're almost eating. All right, there's what we got off the grill. The smell is crazy, but this is what we got off the smoker. Let's see how these guys have turned out. Look at the difference in color. Man, oh man. This is right. Let's go one. Oh, I'm making a spill in two.
They should call them rib wieners.
You are so sexual today. I cannot believe it.
It's the wieners.
All right, let me move this. So here we go. Look, beautiful little smoke ring. Ooh, that's really pretty, huh? And this guy, it's super hot. Ow, ow. This is gonna be like candy. Oh my gosh. One and one. Taste test, let's go. Okay, first, the grill version. Look, it is so beef forward, but that marinade is not taking over the beefiness, it's just adding to it. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't cook these things on a barbecue, because you so can. Took a little longer than I thought. It took about 40, 45 minutes. But these guys, the smoked version. Wow. It was in 250 degree smoke for an hour, then in the foil with a little bit of this sauce. Wow, these ones are smoke forward. They're completely different, but they're both insane. Brian, this was a great suggestion. Thank you very much. I could talk more, but this is more important.